Well, hello everybody again. I did a big boo boo and forgot to record the episode that Justin Basil and I just recorded, so we are going at this again.
Hey, practice makes perfect. We're gonna do it a second time.
Yay! But luckily, it was a short episode because there wasn't that much news this week. So, anyway, hi everybody. Welcome to the PokeBeach.com podcast. My name is John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website, and I am joined by the wonderful,
Justin Basil of justinbasil.com, as
awesome,
always.
and, and we've already done this like 20 times now. And we hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I had a Friendsgiving, and I have a lot of leftover cake and turkey that they dumped on me. So I am going to have to find a way to get rid of all of that. And you were suggesting to me to turn it into a soup.
Yes, the
Well,
turkey can be
not
a
the
soup.
cake, but the soup.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean the
if hey, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm just saying.
yeah.
But no, the turkey, you can pull all the turkey off, boil the carcass in some water to make like a broth or stock, and then pull that carcass out, and
That's a
then start all your mirepoix and just have fun with it.
that's a good
It's
idea.
easy to make a soup, and they taste great. So
And then
might as well make.
and then today I'm going with my friends to see the new Ghibli movie, The Boy and the Heron. So I'm excited about that. And then we're going to camping in Joshua Tree this weekend too, to barbecue.
Ooh, camping. I didn't take you for a camper.
Oh no, I love camping. Did you see have you heard about Boy and the Heron?
Only from you, actually.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to recreate what we just recorded.
Well, we
So
didn't
I'm trying
record
to
this
bring
earlier
up
though. This was
Oh, we
actually
didn't?
prior to the recording.
Oh, this was
No,
our pre-talk. Oh,
no,
okay.
yeah.
I saw it in Japan with my dad when we were there for Worlds, but I didn't understand anything that was happening in it, but it looked really good.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
mean, it's a Ghibli movie. How bad can it be, really?
I know. You told me you wanted me to give you my report about it later, so that's what
Yes.
I will
I,
let you
I
know
I I
what I
love I
think.
love watching when your posts come through on my Facebook, like the once in a blue moon that I'm on there, and it's usually you going, "I saw this movie. It was ass."
Yeah, yeah. I
It was
hate most
so
movies.
great.
I'm in film, and I went to USC for my master's in film, and I've written films and whatever, and shot films and blah blah blah. I've done everything, but most films today just they suck. They have no soul. It's all corporate. They don't have anything to
Yeah.
say about the world, or they're just terrible. Not every film, but most. And I posted on Facebook that he saw. I said, never mind. I'm not going to say what I said. Actually, I don't think it's
No,
child
it's
appropriate.
been a bunch of different posts. It's not just one.
Oh, okay.
But no, I know exactly what you mean because it's true. A lot of movies are like that now, and a lot of TV shows are getting like that too.
Yeah.
And it's really sad
It
because it
feels
used to
like
be an amazing art form that is
yeah.
has been robbed of its soul because they're chasing the almighty dollar.
Yeah, it felt like the 90s was the last time we had good movies. I don't know if that's nostalgia blinding me, but it was before like
Um,
CG
it's
and where they relied
nostalgia.
on.
There are still great movies that are being made. They're
No,
just
I know, but
they're
they're
buried
fewer
in a
and
sea
far.
of mediocrity with a superhero badge on it.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, so let's get into this week's uh
Indeed, let us get into it.
let's get into this week's news. So, what was the first news story again? I don't
First
remember.
news
Oh,
story.
okay.
Let's hit up the full reveal. Oh, we're doing the
Oh,
textures. Okay,
sorry.
let's
This
go
is
for
what we
it.
did first when we first recorded.
Yes,
So,
it is.
so last week we were talking about the how Paldean Fates would feature six hyper rare cards with a new and unique raised foil effect. So I thought this should be turned into a news story that it should be highlighted. So I did some more research about this, and I discovered that the One Piece trading card game. It's a different card game that's based on the anime and manga called One Piece. They have an upcoming set with six special cards that have this sort of raised foil effect on them. So I think that maybe we could get something like that in our Paldean Fate set. Trading card games sometimes copy each other's production techniques. So I think Pokemon could have maybe taken a page from One Piece on this, or Bandai Namco, because you said that Bandai has done this sort of effect before with Dragon Ball, didn't you?
With Digimon,
Or
they've
Digimon,
okay.
sorry.
So Digimon has had similar types of hollow foil. I'll just say like, and this is something like okay, I love Pokemon's art especially, and but Digimon's art is really good
Mm-hmm.
too. But the thing that has made Digimon stand out more than any other card game up until I guess One Piece now was just the foiling effects. They are incredible on their foil cards, and I see One Piece is carrying that over, and that's
Mm-hmm.
great. I love Pokemon to do some of that foiling. Yes, on its extremely rare cards, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I think we're gonna get something on this level? Frankly, no.
Yeah, well, we don't know what we're going to get yet, but it's nice that they're trying to make the gold cards a little more distinguishable because they're basically just color shifted versions of the full art cards. So if they can do something that in real life makes the card look different, I think that's just a plus. The last time they said that was for the textures on full art cards, and those became a long term thing in the card game. So I think this will be a big deal, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's definitely something that's going to be notable, that's for sure. But whether or not it's going to be to the level that you're talking about or to the level that we see here on One Piece is another thing. So, all right. So our next news story of the week was, what was it?
The full reveal, I think, was the next one, right?
Right. So, okay, yeah. So, the Shiny Treasure EX main set list was revealed last night. And as expected, the main set has a majority of reprints in it, except for 16 or 17 brand new cards, which I am trying to scroll down to right now. So they include the new cards that we saw last night are Espathra EX. Do you want to go over it real quick?
Yeah, we can hit it up real fast. I don't know how good it is necessarily, but we'll look at it. So Espathra EX is a grass type Pokemon with 260 HP. It is a stage 1 that evolves from Flittle. It has the Terra effect as long as this Pokemon is on your bench. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks, both yours and your opponent's. It has the ability called Dazzling Gaze, not Glaze. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon cost colorless more. And then for a single psychic energy, it has the attack Psyball, which does 30 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So to me, this is kind of an underwhelming card. Will I play with it on my YouTube channel at some point? Maybe, probably. Just to mess with some of the newer cards from this set. The Dazzling Gaze is kind of a effect similar to Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star from the third year of the Sun and Moon era. The card saw play, but we've also seen this effect on some stage 1s, and I think even a stage 2s rather. I think even a stage 1 fairly recently, and they have seen no play. And then Psyball, while it's a nice effect in the sense that it's only for a single psychic energy, and you could pair this up with Xatu, I don't think the damage multiplier is good enough to see play, unfortunately. You're going to have maybe 2 energy for most of your opponent's attacks. So that's going to give you like 60 damage, maybe 3 if you're lucky with the Dazzling Gaze, so 90. It just feels a little underwhelming unless you're flooding this Espathra with a bunch of energy, and then you don't want to do that because then you just lose all of your energy and you're basically out of the game on that note.
None of
doesn't
these
feel good.
None of these Terra Pokemon have been really that good except Charizard. It's like such a to me it's like a disappointing mechanic that had a lot more potential.
Yeah, it could have been much more interesting. We mentioned earlier on the previous version of this, the Terra effect has been very underwhelming in and of itself. It's just like, ooh, it's inbuilt bench barrier. Yes, that's a great effect a lot of times, and it does make a difference in gameplay. But like,
it has nothing to do with
it's creatively
yeah.
Well, it's creatively bankrupt. There's nothing interesting about it in terms of creativity.
It has nothing
and maybe
to
they
do
just
with
didn't.
it.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't understand how maybe they didn't. Maybe they couldn't create an interesting way to use a Terra mechanic in the TCG, or maybe they thought it would be unbalanced because of how weakness works in the TCG. I don't know, but either way, it doesn't feel that interesting, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sure what you said I think is exactly what happened, but this is I guess the best they could come up with. And then earlier when we did the previous recording, you wanted to talk about how students in Paldea had a particular ruling.
Yeah, so there's an interesting piece of information that people are going to want to know. I'm going to read out Students in Paldea as is, based on our translation, and then I'll mention the interesting tidbit. So Students in Paldea is a trainer card, it's a supporter that says, search your deck for a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, reveal it and put it into your hand. For each other Students in Paldea in your discard pile, you may search your deck for another Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box.
And add it to your hand.
And yeah, this is missing there. And put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then Pokemon EXV, etc. have rule boxes. So the interesting thing about this, and this is something I didn't actually realize until very recently, but if you look in the rulebook under the V Union section, there's a bit of text and then a paragraph that basically says that Pokemon V Union are not rulebox Pokemon until they're in play. So students in Paldea, then, if you have 3 of them in your discard pile, you could play that 4th one, find the 3 last pieces of your Pokemon V Union, and get them into your hand that way.
That's
I
cool.
thought that was very interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because those V Union pieces, they are not your rule boxes until they're in play.
Yeah.
So it's
Good
a
way
little
to get
thing.
them.
I don't know that it actually makes students in Paldea playable, but it is interesting. And it's something to be aware of in a ruling situation, because a lot of people, and I think a lot of professors and judges in general, they'll get it wrong because they're not going to be aware of that little bit of information from the rule book.
Well, now they know. And this card also had 2 prints in this set, which is a pretty rare thing to happen. So that's cool. And then Shiny Treasure EX also has a alternate art of reprints of Natu and Xatu from what was it? Obsidian Flames.
Paradox Rift.
Or Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift. Oh, I have it right here in the story.
It's, as we say, it's in the article.
I
mean,
wrote
they're not
it.
very technically. They're not the only alternate arts. They're just the only alternate
us.
arts that we haven't really gotten yet, or don't know what really coming from. Like we've seen the 10 promos. We've seen
the set also has. The set also has our English promos that are releasing for the first time in Japan. But from us, as coming from the English card game, these are the only alternate art reprints for us. But Japan
they're the
is
ones that we haven't seen.
Yeah. And then this set, the main set, also features a new reverse hollow style, as you can see here. It's kind of like this sort of like pixely memory DNA sort of thing. I don't know.
It's a raised hollow. No, it's not.
That's not that. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and then the secret rares from this set. There's going to be over 150 of them. They'll all leak by next week, so I'm going to be up several nights in a row till late looking for these on social media. We have a handful of them so far here, but we should be getting all of these in our
a little more than a handful.
Yeah, a little more, sorry, than a handful. We should be maybe a third, actually. I don't know. I'd have to count them. But we'll be getting these in our Paldean Fate set on January 26th. So, and then last night we also had the we had a new illustration rare of Palafin revealed, looking sort of like a Batman villain here underwater. Looks really cool. And then Shiny Terra Gardevoir EX and Shiny Terra Charizard EX.
Guardy is not Terra.
Oh, sorry. What am I saying? Shiny Gardevoir EX and Shiny Terra Charizard EX. So when we were originally talking about this set, we were talking about how fans kind of know what to expect with this set, but this is something new that they decided to do, having alternate arts of the shiny Pokemon instead of just color shifting them or whatever. So I think it's a nice surprise for people.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad to be wrong on this. I'm glad that I was proved wrong. However, I just feel like the existence of these proves once again that the generic blind ones just don't need to exist.
And then we get into the whole rarity discussion where it's like, well, we need the generic ones so that the special ones feel even more special. It's like this whole balancing system thing, but we've gone about that ad nauseum in previous episodes. You didn't say anything?
No.
Oh, okay. I was giving you a chance to respond if you wanted to. And then...
no, I mean, we have talked about it ad nauseum, and I'm sure people are tired of hearing about it.
And then...
I just don't think they need to exist.
And then we had new illustration rares of Palmy, which was revealed yesterday. And then, of course, we saw the shiny Mimikyu from our Elite Trainer box. When was it? Last week? So, yeah, that's Shiny Treasure EX. And we'll get the secret rares from it next week. So we can look forward to that and seeing what that raised gold effect will be. And then what was our other... Did we have another
We have
news
two stories left still.
So, since we're talking about, we had English cards revealed from Paldean Fates, as you can see right here. It's kind of hard to see in the video that Pokemon released, but they do have a texture like, previous shiny cards. So, although this time now it's on the border, or you get the shininess on the border too, which I think is really cool.
They look washed out to me. I don't like the I don't like the style of hollow. Or I don't like the style of card rather.
Just the cards in general.
I mean, look at the Pikachu. It just looks washed out.
You mean the what looks washed out? The
The
card
Pokemon
itself?
itself, yeah, the Pokemon itself looks washed out.
Oh, maybe it's the video. I don't know. Um.
Maybe
So yeah, that's it for
it was. It does appear to have been recorded on a potato. So there's that.
That's it for Paldean Fates and Shiny Treasure EX. And then we also had a couple of products announced for March 2024. There's going to be a new set of stackable tins releasing on March 1st for $12.99 each. They come with 3 booster packs and a coin. These tins can be stacked on top of each other. We've already had 6 of them released before, featuring grass, fire, water, lightning, fighting, and dark Pokemon. So presumably this new trio of tins will come with Psychic Dragon and Metal Pokemon. And then
I was just noticing that Guzzlord was the darkness one in 2022. We haven't seen Ultra Beast in the trading card game in how long? 2000 to 2020, 2020?
whenever they came out, that's when the last time we saw them.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been it was the end of the Sun and Moon block. It would Celestial Storm, or, no, Cosmic Eclipse. Sorry, would have been the last set with Ultra Beasts.
What if
so it's been that long?
What if the trading card game starts to do what the video games does and just drops the new things they introduce and we don't see
Oh,
them
it's
again?
doing it already. We haven't seen it in forever.
It's like
We're
somebody
like, oh
at
yeah,
the
we don't want to do the Ultra Beasts.
It's like somebody at the company sent out a memo saying like we want every region to feel like its own thing now. And so once it's in that region, then it's gone. Like once we move on to a new region, the other stuff is gone.
So we will
from that
never see
region.
the Ultra Beasts again.
No, we will.
Unless
We will. But
No. Unless you mail $1 million to the Pokemon Company International,
Oh, God.
you will never see your precious Ultra Beasts ever again.
well, that's what fans do when they pay for new games that they may or may not like. They are voting.
I
with
don't
their
know.
money.
With how vocal they are on social media, you'd think they'd hate the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah. And then for March 1st, we also are getting a new set of World Championship decks. So we've gotten these every single year. This year, it'll be the winning decks from Yokohama, which include Vance Kelly's Mew V Max and Genesect V deck. He was the Masters winner from the US. Tord Ratcliffe's Gardevoir EX deck. He was the Masters runner-up from Norway. Gabriel Fernandez's Lugia V-Star Archeops deck. He's the senior winner from Brazil. And Xiao Tong Yan's Lost Zone Toolbox deck. He was the junior winner from Taiwan. All these deck lists are on Pokemon.com. We don't have the product images for these products yet, but they'll be themed in the same way, just based on Japan's event in Yokohama. And yeah,
I'll just point out this is the second time that Mew VMAX has had a World Championship deck. Actually, you see the shape of Mew there on the, I think it's the bottom right.
Yep.
So we've seen Mew VMAX before. I will say this though, for people that are not aware, these World Championship decks are not tournament legal. They're not something you can play in tournaments for. Like if you're going to go to your Pokemon League, they're not going to be legal there. You can't play with them. They're meant more as like a trophy or like a memorabilia piece than as a playable deck. Obviously, you can play with them at home if you want to. John mentioned you mentioned earlier when we were recording that you can like learn how to practice with some of these decks. I will say, however, even though you could practice with these, the format at this point is already quite old. And then to make matters worse, either right before these come out or shortly after these come out, rotation will happen, which will cut a bunch of the cards out of these decks in the first place, which makes the decks even more different. And then a card like Mew VMAX, a deck like Mew VMAX, for example, the deck itself will be rotating out of the standard format, so it won't be legal at all anymore. So there would be no real use of practicing that deck at that point.
But it's a good way to like learn the card game itself, just with its own like microcosm metagame, that doesn't exist.
I feel like if you really want to learn the card game as a player trying to come into the game, especially if you're an older person, not a little kid, probably your best bet is one of the League Battle decks. So something like the Miraidon EX League Battle deck or the Palkia V-Star League Battle decks. Those I think are a much better point of entry. One, because their cards are actually tournament legal.
Yeah.
But two, they're just better decks in general.
Cool. I think, is that it for the week? Yeah, it's a light news week, isn't it?
It is a light news week. The only thing I think left is saying best of luck to everyone that went to Gdańsk for the Gdańsk Poland regional championships this weekend. So if you are in Gdańsk, best of luck to you, no matter which game you're playing, whether that's TCG, Go, VGC, whatever is there. Best of luck to you. It will be very interesting to see how the Paradox Rift meta either continues to develop or starts to regress back toward the 151 meta. I'm expecting more of the same from LASC. LASC was a very interesting meta since it was the very first large tournament with Paradox Rift legal. We saw a lot of success from Gardevoir. We saw Miraidon win. We saw Iron Valiant EX and Entei come in second place. So it'll be very interesting to see how the community responds to what saw success at LASC, and we will be keeping our eyes peeled for what sees success in Gdańsk.
I think Grant Manley had an article on the website about, right here, the missing piece for Iron Valiant EX's dominance, NTV. He had an article about it. It was funny. I was saying that on social media how the prices jumped up for that, but I think it was for NTV, Suicune, Raikou V, but I think that was like market manipulation or something.
So Entei is the one that went up. Raikou and Suicune have already been what their prices are, really. And Raikou especially has been expensive because of its success in both Miraidon and Lost Box variants. So it's already a playable card. Collectors are just like, oh, wait, this card's expensive, because they don't see the value in it as a collector. It looks like a boring card, but as a player, it's a very valuable card. Entei now, people are seeing it have a little bit of success with the Iron Valiant deck, and they're like, oh, I gotta pick that up. So whereas the card was maybe $1.50 to $2.50 a few weeks ago, now that it's seen a little bit of success with Iron Valiant, I think last I saw it was like $7.50, $8. But a little bit further back, there was some definite market manipulation, a little bit of buyout action, and the card shot up into the $30 range for a while.
Yeah. So I think that's it for the week. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I would really like to see more comments. I love reading the comments. You guys should say stuff more. Please say stuff. Say stuff.
Yeah, say stuff, like, because if there are interesting things that you say, we can be like, hey, let's respond to that, because that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, ask us questions or whatever. It's fun to have some participation. So
we like to hear your 2 cents too.
All right, so that's it for the week. For those of you that celebrated Thanksgiving, we hope you had a good time with your friends and family. And we will see you guys next week when the secret rares from Shiny Treasure EX are slowly revealed, probably. Very slowly revealed.
I mean, hopefully we have all of them by Friday. Hopefully.
Yeah. No, I think we will. Although, God, over 150 of them. It's going to be quite
you're gonna have real dark bags under your eyes.
Oh, I'm always dead I'm always asleep. I'm always half asleep when it comes to running this website. But yeah, okay. We'll see you guys next week, and we hope you have a good one. Bye.
Have a good one.